Hello and welcome back, dear friends, at Lit ECT YouTube channel, the one-stop destination for your preparation related with English literature. Dear friends, these videos I have been recording is basically designed to help you in clearing NTA NET English and our present series most important writers. I have tried to cover those writers about which we generally don't find information in guidebooks and other things. So this is basically designed keeping in mind JRF levels. So these are rather advanced level of study, and that is why there may be many writers about which you haven't heard or prepared. And in our today's video, we are going to cover five writers: John Cowper Powys, May Sinclair, John Buchan, Mazo De La Roche, and David Garnett. We will take them one by one, discuss their works and some important characteristics about them. The very first writer we are going to study today is John Cowper Powys. Dear friends, in fact, there were three brothers, Powys brothers, who all contributed during this particular period between wars and after war periods. And among them, John Cowper Powys was considered to be one of the greatest writers, not only fiction, but also he has written some great non-fiction works, collection of essays. He is a prolific novelist, letter writer, poet, philosopher. Yes, he was also a very prominent philosopher of his time. He spent over 30 years as an itinerant lecturer, going here and there with basically continuously going to and fro between US, and during which time he wrote some of his popular and important works, first four novels and masterpieces. Remember, his autobiography is considered to be a benchmark of a 20th century autobiography in which he has confessed almost everything very frankly. He has also written, while he was there, Glastonbury Romance and also Weymouth Sands, which is another of his popular works. If we talk about his other works, when he returned to Great Britain in 1934, he wrote the historical novels Owen Glendower and Porteous, and he also wrote critical studies of great writers like Dostoevsky. So he was writing all sorts of novels. And then his collection of essays, which are very important one, The Meaning of Culture, once again a philosophical treatise, The Pleasure of Literature, The Art of Growing Old. These all are his collection of essays. Now we will talk about some of his important works. Wolf Solent. Now this Wolf Solent is one of his Wessex novels. We generally associate name of Thomas Hardy with Wessex novels, but he has also written about this particular region, Wessex. It is set in the fictional town of Ramsgard and centers around the story of a 35-year-old history teacher who returns to his roots in the West Country after spending many years in London. So there is a philosophical bent in the novel, and once again, like Hardy, there is minute observation of the nature. Uh, Glastonbury Romance. If we talk about this work, it is an epic novel. It centers on attempt of two groups. On one hand, we have John Geard, who is an ex-minister and now he is the mayor, and he wants to restore Glastonbury to its medieval glory as a place of religious pilgrimage, because there are many historical things and relics there. He wants to once again recreate that particular aura. But at the same time, there are modern people, industrialists like Philip Crowe, along with his other friends. They view the myths of and legends of the old time with contempt. They think that it is no more useful to live in that past. So it is basically clash between these two persons, or we can say these two kind of ideologies. Second writer we will discuss today is May Sinclair, 1863 through 1964. Dear friends, she is considered as leading women novelist between death of George Eliot and the rise of Virginia Woolf. Now you can understand her stature, though she is no more considered to be of such stature, but there was time, and in fact it is not only that, she is also credited with coining this term. She was the first critic to use the term stream of consciousness, and she actually she was one of the earliest critics who appreciated the work of Joyce, T.S. Eliot and others, and she is also creator of the formerly first female buildings roman by writing this novel, Mary Oliver, way back in 1919. Her first publication was a book of poems, Necicitas and other poems, and it was published, like many of women writers at that time, under the pseudonym Julian Sinclair. Then her 1904 novel, The Divine Fire, is once again, like Powys, she was also deeply interested in philosophy. It was a schematically philosophical novel, and which describes the lives of artists and the impact of the surroundings on their lives. Now, 1913, she published, brought her psychological interest, because she was very much interested in Freud. She has read and wrote a lot about him. She brought these psychological insights into her novel, The Three Sisters. This particular novel, The Three Sisters, is actually loosely based on the lives of three Bronte sisters. So basically not exactly copying their life. She has brought the same kind of solitude in which they lived, and other kind of such things. And if we talk about her classical novel, Mary Oliver, A Life, it was her boldest and most impressive novel. In fact, Mary is the youngest child and the only daughter in a Victorian household. Now, novel traces her lifelong struggle, her lifelong aspiration for independence, and a struggle which leads her to a fulfilling vocation as a poet, and which culminates in a spiritual and intellectual awakening. So you can see it is not just a buildings roman, it's actually a consular roman also. It is very easy to compare it with James Joyce portrait of artist, because once again internal action is more important than the external one. The Life and Death of Harriet Freeman, another very important work by her in 1922. It is considered as her best work, her masterpiece, which tells the tragic story of Fionn, which is because of her Victorian childhood and her progress, her growth as an individual is stunted, and then she has to spend a lonely adulthood and inconsequential death. So rather a sentimental novel, but once again highlighting the plight of women in the Victorian society. The next writer we are going to discuss is another writer which was quite popular in her time but not so later, that is Mazo De La Roche, 1879 to 1961. She is a Canadian author, and her series of novels about the White Oak family, which is a fictional family, White Oak family of Jana. It is the name of the estate where these people live. It made her one of the most popular family saga writers, a writer who write about different generations of a family. And then if we talk about her works. In fact, beginning with Jalna, this is the first work in this series in 1927. It has no less than 16 novels covering 100 years of White Oak family, covering all the aspects. And you can see Master of Jalna, White Oak of Jalna, The Building of Jalna. These are some titles, and Jalna, you can remember this particular term. The next writer we will discuss is David Garnett. David Garnett is an English novelist best known for his satirical, fantastical tale, Lady into Fox, in which a very quarreling type of wife turns into a fox, and a man, her husband, is basically astonished. And then there is a man in the zoo which is concerned with a man who is accepted by the local zoo, a London Zoo, to be exhibit as an species, as an example of the Homo sapien species. So basically all these are written in a satirical manner. At the same time, he is also a prominent member of the Bloomsbury group. He has written many memoirs about them. Other important works by him are The Golden Echo, The Flowers of the Forest, The Familiar Faces. This is quite popular work, The Familiar Faces, in which he recollects the conversation, the literary conversation of his circle. In fact, Bloomsbury group, of which he was an integral part. Next writer we will discuss is John Buchan, 1875 to 1940, and he is not only a writer, he is a statesman also, and best known for his adventure stories written in manner of Robert Louis Stevenson, who was quite popular writer of the time. When he became the editor director of a publishing company Nelson, he wrote Prester Joan, which were collection of his adventure stories written in the style of R.L. Stevenson, and it basically presented a prophetic account of African rising, which later happened. 39 Steps, which is his most popular work. It was basically secret service thriller, and it introduced the character of Richard Hannay, which later featured in many of other his works. Also, this was later adapted by Alfred Hitchcock into a timeless classic, which was hugely popular and also make him famous also. In 1935, he was appointed as the Governor General of Canada, and this became the setting of his another very popular work, Sick Heart River, published in 1941. In US, it was published with the title Mountain Meadow. And his autobiography, which is Memory Hold the Door, it was published in 1940. So friends, this is all in our today's discussion of these 5 writers. I will continuously bring some more writers so that you can be aware about these rather unknown writers or lesser known writers, and make your preparation of NET, especially targeting JRF, more comprehensive. Thank you friends.